Yes, people, what is going on? A massive week ahead in the Champions League. And we thought to celebrate the Champions League semi-finals being here, of course, two legs with two massive ties coming up, which we are all excited to see. Who is going to make the final? Only time will tell. But we thought it would be a great idea to get in and do a combined 11 for the ties that we have got. So we're starting off with the first fixture. Of course, Cameron, you are going to have PSG. I am going to have Bayern. And where else do we start? But surely we start in goal. Who are you putting forward for your current goalkeeper?
So right now, obviously, we're just doing it mainly based off of the last Champions League lineups as well, we must add. So right now in goal, it's Matej Savinov.
And I've got Neuer. And I have to say, based on what we did in the last, or what we saw in the last round, I don't think we can have Neuer. I think if you're going all time, Neuer's probably going to be the one that you go for. But I don't think, unless you probably agree, or unless you disagree with me, I think we'd probably go PSG here.
I would go PSG here. Like, Neuer in the first leg, I think against Real Madrid was very good. But then the second leg, he was having howler after howler. Gave away a goal in the first minute. Free kick he should have done much better of. I think he's the reason why it was a much tougher game for Bayern Munich in that first leg. So, yeah, I would happily go Savinov it because he, over the two legs against Liverpool as well, he actually played really well.
Yeah, no, I think he's a very good goalkeeper. And I think when PSG lost Donnarumma, I thought they were going to struggle a little bit. But really fair play to them for finding him. So the goalkeeper is sorted. If we're going to right back, I feel like I'm going to put him forward because he's on my list. It's Stanisic, but I know who's coming from you.
Yeah, just probably Morocco's best player ever with Achraf Shaqiri. Not Shaqiri, oh my God.
Shaqiri? God, has he changed?
Oh my God.
Has he changed?
Oh, that's my first mess up, I think, on the channel. Achraf Hakimi.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's got to be Hakimi, isn't it?
I mean, Hakimi, yeah.
a player of that quality. I mean, I have to say, I do think defensively he struggles a little bit in certain times. I mean, obviously his massive attributes are going forward, but when you've got a player of that quality and he can deliver the balls that he does and drives his team up the pitch, it's an absolute no-brainer.
I mean, even against us, he was appearing on the left wing at times just because the pace he had when he's bringing the ball forward, he just ended up there and he was still causing problems. But yeah, Hakimi, PSG in this stage 2-0.
Yeah, 100%. Now, the centre-backs are going to be interesting, and I'm going to sort of see who we put up against each other. So I'm putting up Jonathan Tah.
I think for this one, I'm going to put up William Pacho.
See, now this is tough because there's names here that we're going to miss out on. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think this is probably the first bigger, debate we're going to have here because I really like Pacho.
I really like Tah. It's very different things because they're very different ends of the spectrum, aren't they?
Yeah, like Jonathan Tah, I think he's just in his 30s now. He's had a really good career. He was with Bayer Leverkusen for a bit. He's coming to Bayern Munich. He's still solid. Whereas Pacho, I know we're kind of doing it as a right now, but he's still quite young. He's still learning the game. But my God, has he been solid since joining PSG as well.
Jonathan Tah, I think, is probably the better, more polished footballer as of right now. Unless you disagree with me, I feel like the right answer here is Jonathan Tah.
I'd say we'll give Bayern one. For this, we'll try and.
You're going to give Bayern one. Okay, all right.
I think we'll give Bayern one here. Let's make it 2-1. But I think the next centre back pairing that we're going to compete against now is just going to be as difficult because I've got Marquinhos now,
and I've got Upamecano. Now, I think you say it's difficult. If I had to pick one as of right now, I know which one I'm having, but I think that. Again, the age might go against him a little bit because, yes, he is one of the best centre-backs, that we've seen in modern history, and I still think he's doing it at that top level, Marquinhos. Upamecano has had mixed games. There's certain times he looks absolutely unbelievable and then others where he looks like a bit of a liability. So I think I'm going to go for, my shout's going to be for Marquinhos here.
Yeah, I think Marquinhos I think it is a bit easier than the last one, but I think it should be Marquinhos and Jonathan Tah as the two centre-halves now. Now, we'll move on to left-back. I'm putting up Nuno Mendes.
I mean, I've sort of got two options of what I do here, because I could go for what is written on my screen over here, which is Conrad Lima, or I could go, oh, do I try and make it interesting and go for Alphonso Davies? But I've gone on record before of saying that at one point I thought that your man should have won the Ballon d'Or. I think he's absolutely excellent, so I don't really think there's a leg to stand on here, is there?
Yeah, I think it's difficult in this one because I think PSG have the two best fullbacks in club football right now. So, yeah, Mendes in for me.
Yeah, it has to be. And now, I think with that back line, I think it sort of says everything you need to sort of know about how this game is going to go. We're talking about the back lines, in terms of the attacking talent that the fullbacks have got. We're talking about the quality that can be at centre-back, with a couple of errors here and there potentially thrown in. Marquinhos having the age that he is, if the right person runs against him, might be in trouble. We're then talking about Pancho, who is, very good, but again is a bit raw, so might dive into a tackle. We know the way Upamecano can. So I think there will be, in this tie, there'll be a lot of chances probably at both ends, because I think although these back lines are good, when you're focusing on, again, some of the attacking attributes of these back lines, it means that there should be chances created. So let's go into this midfield, because this PSG midfield, I have said before, I think is the best in the world. But if we're going up man for man, I have to put my best player forward first, which for me, I think he's a legend of the game and one of my favourite players that I have ever watched. It's Joshua Kimmich.
Okay, well, I mean, if we want to make it interesting, I might have to put up, PSG's best midfielder right now, which is Vitinha.
No, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. I think if you're going to put up someone, up of that quality, I think you're going to have to put them in their right position, which I'm pretty sure we agree is sort of more of a number 10. So who are you going for as your actually recognised number 6?
It is going to be João Neves, which is still...
Right, I'm going to say Kimmich. I'm going to try and get that one in there early doors.
I agree. Kimmich is just insane. He carries that by.
Yes, thank God.
But we have to take a moment to appreciate also
I didn't think I was going to get one.
Well, if I was allowed to put Vitinha in, I think we'd be having a much
No. We're going to bend every rule. We're going to play that playbook, mate.
But I mean, let's also take a moment just to appreciate how good João Neves is at such a young age. He's come in, he's been fantastic. He just works so hard in that midfield. You see him everywhere. I think in a couple of years' time, he'll probably be in a lot of, best 11s in the world at that point. But I think right now, we'll give you Kimmich, I guess. We'll make sure he's in the team.
For that. And as you said, there is such young talent, and he's got so much potential, and he is going to go forward and do fantastic things. And he's a sort of player, if you saw him finish in a top 3 in a Ballon d'Or, 5 years down the line, just for being really, really good and really consistent and having those couple of moments, you wouldn't be surprised at all what a footballer he is going to be. But when you've done what Kimmich has done, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. Now, this is where I will lose, because I'm putting up Pavlovic next, and I pick anyone you want, mate, because I mean, they're going to beat Pavlovic with all due respect to him.
Well, it's going to be Zaire-Emery I'm putting up. From the last
what a footballer.
Yeah, he's, again, another great young PSG midfielder. He's going to be in the French team for years to come as well. He's solid. But again, Pavlovic, he might not be the most flashy player, but he is solid in that Bayern Munich midfield. So, again...
Yeah. And scored in the last game as well, I have to say. Scored in that last game against Real Madrid as well.
Yeah, and then I can argue then Zaire-Emery against Liverpool in the last leg as well. He was so comfortable at Anfield, which is, something very rare for a player to be as well, especially at a young age. I think I'm going to be very easy on this one. Another one for PSG, I reckon. Vitinha against...
Musiala.
Oh, you'd want to put him in. He wasn't in the starting 11 in the last game. I thought it was going to
No, he wasn't, but Gnabry's not getting in, and we've got to make a video out of this. I mean, to be fair, I would have... I mean, Gnabry is a great player, but I mean, I would see him more as a wide player. I think, again, a really good young talent. He's coming off the back of an injury at the moment. world at his feet sort of, opportunity for him. And I mean, when he's doing it at the level that he is. But then having said that, we've had Carl as well, who's done fantastically well for Bayern at points this season. He's not consistent, but we know that on his day, I mean, what a performance Musiala can put in. I would argue he's one of the best in the world when he is on his game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we really... Well, for me personally, I only really got to watch him first at the Euros 2 years back. And, he was, one of the shining lights in that German team alongside Florian Wirtz as well. Two young, great players. But Vitinha right now, I think he's the best midfielder in the world. He didn't have the lucky, probably could have gotten at Wolves when he was in the Premier League. But, my God, what a player he's turned into since he's left and gone to PSG. He's been immaculate.
I might even say, and when you're seeing the numbers that my centre forward's putting up, but we'll talk about him in a minute. When you're talking about the numbers and some of the production rate that's going on in world football, I think it's very easy to overlook players like Vitinha, who we all know is very, very good, and he's still getting that publicity. But I think there's a shout that he wins a Ballon d'Or. I think he's arguably one of the best players in the world right now. I think he's definitely in the top 3.
You had a lot of PSG players in that, Ballon d'Or ranking and stuff anyway. So I think if Vitinha is going to take that next step, I think PSG would have to win it again this year. But then in the summer, Portugal would have to do really well at the World Cup. I think that's
and I have to say, I think they can. You even look at Nuno Mendes. You look at still going to have the experience of Ronaldo. You have that midfield control with Bernardo Silva and him, and obviously insert all the other talent that Portugal have got. I do think there is a real chance. I think if they go and make something like a quarter final, or even get it right and get to a semi, which I think might be a bit of a push, I still think he's going to be right up there at the top of that list to go and win that biggest prize. But where are we going with this one? I think Musiala to Vitinha, both great players. I think we're going Vitinha though, surely.
I think if Musiala was fit this season and he didn't suffer a horrible injury that's kept him out for most of it, I think it'd be a much closer conversation. But Vitinha gets in.
Yeah, and again, perfectly said. Musiala on his day is absolutely immaculate, but we haven't seen that day for a little while, and we're basing it off of what's going on right now. Otherwise, Neuer would have been in that team.
Yeah, right.
Either way.
Should we go into the more harder conversation of who gets in the front 3?
Yeah, let's go for this. I'm going to start this off at right wing.
Right, okay.
I'm going to start this off at right wing, and I'm assuming that you have, because you haven't mentioned him yet. I'm going to assume you're going Desiree Doué here.
Yeah, Doué is lined up on the right, so it'll be Doué versus.
The person who I'm putting forward, who I would argue is arguably the most on-form player in Europe as of right now,
Serge Gnabry,
which is Michael Elise. Not Serge Gnabry, no, not Serge Gnabry.
I think Desiree Doué is one of the best young talents again in world football.
He is excellent as a footballer. He is
Elise,
absolutely excellent.
Right now, you can't stop him. No one can touch him. He plays the game in slow motion pretty much. The numbers he's put up this season as well, Michael Elise. I think he's the top assister in Germany right now as well, and you just can't stop him. Yeah, Elise gets in.
I don't think he's even a conversation as of right now, and I really like Desiree Doué. I really like him, but when you're doing that, you can't argue with it, surely. Moving on to left wing, this is a really interesting one because I'm putting in Luis Diaz. I'm assuming you're going for that Georgian fella.
Yeah, just a Georgian fella with a bit of an iteration in his name, Kavica Kvaratskhelia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I just applaud the pronunciation before we go any further? Fair play, Cameron. Right, so Luis Diaz versus Kvaratskhelia.
I like both. I really do.
Yeah.
Maybe the Liverpool bias might help Diaz here because I loved him at Liverpool. He scored the goal that made Bayern Munich pretty much get through before Elise finished the game off, and it was a cracking goal as well. But that's what he can do. But then Kvaratskhelia, he played really well against us in the first leg. He played really well against you as well in both legs. He's just such a great player. And he also, national team wise, he's the reason why Georgia, done really well on that Euros as well and got as far as
he is the man. You know, that's the way of looking at it in terms of, you know, the profile that he can have. And obviously when he was at Napoli before and when he moved to PSG, obviously the hype around him was absolutely massive. But I think in this one, I actually think that similar to what unfortunately happened with Musiala, Kvaratskhelia being out injured at points, and when I saw him came off the bench on his best day, he's brilliant. I don't know. I'm not sure which way to go here because I think Luis Diaz has been so consistent all year. But is that just picking him because he hasn't been injured? I don't know. That's tough.
I think sometimes it is a case of like, you know, when you're available, that also helps so much. I'm very happy going with Luis Diaz here on the left wing.
And I think I would have been happy with either one of the two. I think probably Kvaratskhelia is the better footballer.
Yes, I agree.
But when you're talking about current form and current goings on in football, Luis Diaz this season has been absolutely immaculate. So this is two of the front three
for Bayern
that have gone to Bayern. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, this now comes down to, I'm assuming this is your current Ballon d'Or winner versus my definitely should win the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion, this year coming up.
Well, I did fancy, you know, maybe throwing in Gonzalo Ramos just for fun, you know, number 9 versus number 9. But I think, you know, it has to be Dembele against Kane here. But
I could put Nicholas Jackson in.
Oh, we could do that one, Ramos or Jackson. I still think it's Ramos.
Don't you disrespect my Nico, mate. Don't you respect my Nico.
I don't know how many goals he scored for Bayern this year. I don't think it's going to be as many as Ramos.
Don't matter. He's a ledge. He's an absolute ledge. And he's coming back to us as well because I don't want him. So if we're going Kane against Ousmane and Dembele, I mean, completely different footballers, but what talents they both are.
Yeah, I mean Dembele, especially last season, he was the best player in the world. Simple as that. You know, he scored so many big goals the whole way through the Champions League running for him that, you know, he did deserve it. And, you know, it's been a nice turnaround for his career as well because you got to remember he was good at Rennes, amazing at Dortmund, and then he got the move to Barcelona where he was constantly injured, got no form. But now at PSG, you know, he still had to wait a little bit. He was still a bit injured as well. You still had, you know, the likes of Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, Di Maria, all in front of him.
It's coming into that team as well is a really big thing because let's be honest, the expectations in Paris is to go and win. And when you've got the stars that they had, you can't ignore the fact that they are going to put you in a better position to go and win a game of football. Yeah. It's that straightforward.
But now that he's pretty much been given the license to be the number one guy, you know, there's more pressure on him as well, being, you know, the main person. But like, he's done it to such a good effect, and, you know, got them their first Champions League trophy.
He's the one that fired them to that. With that being said, Harry Kane is on ridiculous form at the moment, and when you're scoring the goals that he is and doing it as easily as he does, the conversation changes as a pure. I think you have to approach this as a pure goal scorer. Forget about team. I think you have to approach it as a full-on goal scorer, and the Dembele finishes are clinical and they are big moments, and it is everything. Kane's finishing is unbelievable.
It's so good.
Dembele's finishing is ruthless.
Yes. Dembele in the second leg against Liverpool, it was only his first shot of the game and really like one of their first big attacks, and he scored, and that was a tie-down. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we have to talk about Harry Kane a lot more now. He's Bundesliga top goal scorer. I think he was...
And it's not even close.
No, I think he was like running away with it. I think he's also one of the quickest Bayern players to reach 100 goals as well. You know, He's been consistent for England throughout his whole career. And now it's a case of like, he is now the front runner for the Ballon d'Or this year.
Yeah, I think I would have him like that, and I think the English media and English fans would. I don't know if it's seen that way across the rest of Europe and the world, which is what does slightly worry me in this argument, because, I mean, the last time we saw an English player win the Ballon d'Or was Michael Owen, I'm pretty sure, and that was, 2001, I think, something like that.
25 years ago.
You know, we're talking a long time. We're going to have to break the mould if Harry Kane is to go and bring the Ballon d'Or back to England. I think he's in the form of his life. And I think it's situational, very similar. I mean, obviously we saw the goals that he scored at Spurs, but very similar to Ousmane Dembele. Got to find the right environment. He was a very good player when he was at Dortmund, and he was a very good player when he was at Barcelona, although we didn't always see it at times. But he has made this massive leap. Now he's at PSG, and even that took some time. You then get this right situation for Harry Kane, goes to Germany, absolutely playing fantastic football, scoring goals for fun, finally breaks that duck and wins a piece of silverware. I just think he's in such confidence right now. So when we're going into this debate, who are we having as our number 9? Because I think if you said to me right now, let the comments decide, I wouldn't be annoyed, but I feel like a cop-out.
Yeah, that's just you sitting on the fence, and I don't like that at all. So
I feel like you're going to go for yours, and I'm going to go for mine, and I feel like,
if I'm going to be completely honest, it's Kane. It is just Kane right now.
Fine.
And, I won't sit on the fence like some other people in this call. But no, it's Harry Kane right now. As good as Dembele is, the team, our combined 11 is Savinov in goal. The fullbacks of Hakimi and Mendes, centre-halves of Marquinhos and Tar. You have Kimmich, Vitinha and zaire-emery in midfield. And then you've got a whole Bayern front three of Elise, Kane and Luis Diaz.
And that, we talk about the goals that Bayern are scoring, and we talk about the goals that PSG are scoring. We could have inserted so many people into this team. This is why I really wanted to do this one. It's a fantastic video that we can do, because it's genuinely so much debate that comes into it, and there's not a right or wrong answer. If you argued, particular players for certain topics, I would completely agree. But I think what a hell of a team that is that we've just made there.
Yeah,
and that's the level of quality. When you think about the players that have missed out, that's the level of quality we're going to be watching over the next 2 weeks.
Well, even, those who let us know in the comments what changes you would have made. Would you have put Neuer ahead of Savinov? Would you have put Dembele ahead instead of Kane? Let us know. We want to see what your thoughts are. But this is the team we've made. We're quite happy with it. But again,
no, I think it's a great team. That's a great team.
You're looking at the players that we had to compete. It's very easy to swap a lot of them around.
Yeah, I mean, you could have easily put in Upamecano versus and Marquinhos together. There's a varied amount of things. So please do let us know what you think down in the comments below. What would you have done differently? But most importantly, we're going to have to get off of this to go and film another one. And if you have not seen the other video, make sure you go and check it out. We're going to do the exact same thing, but for Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. Cameron, thank you very much for joining me. What a combined 11 this is. I'll see you for the next time. We'll be back here probably tomorrow for you lot. Let's going to get this out quick. What a team we've just made there. And I'm looking forward to doing the Atletico Arsenal one as well. Massive games coming up in the Champions League. Make sure you subscribe to see more from us. Take care. See you soon. And make sure you check out that other combined 11 video.